Hello and welcome to my email wizardry Friday morning, Friday afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching show. So what I'm going to actually be walking through today is email marketing for absolute beginners. This is because I do a workshop, and that workshop takes place on a Wednesday afternoon. I do it in Leeds, Manchester. I do it in a few different cities, and I invite people to come along that have never done any email marketing before whatsoever. And I get a lot of questions from people who they do have prospects, they've got customers, they even have email addresses for some of those people, but they've never actually sent an email campaign to them. And once I start to walk through the benefits of creating a campaign and sending a campaign out, obviously the penny drops and they want to get going. So what I wanted to do today is walk you through how to come up with an idea for a campaign, which is probably one of the most important parts of the campaign, how to then create a landing page for that idea, whatever that might be, and then how to set up the campaign and send it out. So for the landing page, I've chosen Unbounce, and for the email delivery, I've chosen MailChimp. I've also put in there for some of you that don't understand how to collect data or have never collected data in the past. I've also put in there how to create a campaign that can generate new prospect data for you. And I've walked through the whole thing. Now, if I was to just run through this on a YouTube video like I am doing here and go through each bit, it would become, I think, quite confusing. So instead of doing that, I've created a blog page which you can go back to and refer. It's got two videos, one about how to create the Unbounce page, one about how to create the MailChimp account. How to adjust all of the settings, how to basically do everything. And I've tried to do it in as simple steps or as a breakdown as simply as I possibly can. Just to give you an idea why I chose Unbounce, well, I've used Unbounce for probably 10 years, and it's a good system. I like it. And Unbounce, it's a landing page system, so it allows you to build a landing page for your website without having to go to your marketing department. But it's also got some really funky tools. So one of the really good features of it, and I think quite a few of the others have it, like Instapage and Lead Pages, but one of the tools that it does have is variants and champions. So you can create a landing page, and maybe on one version of your landing page you'll have a video, and on the other version of the same landing page you'll have an image with more text. And you'll be trying to identify which version of your landing page your audience likes the most. Well, what Unbounce will do is it will split the traffic between those two variants 50-50. If you've got 4 variants, it'll do it 25% each. So if you get 100 people to your website tomorrow, or to your landing page tomorrow, 25 people will see one variant, 25 will see the next variant, and so on for the whole 100. Now, what's really important about this is that the conversion rate on one of those variants might be it might be much higher than one of the other variants, and you would never have known this unless you'd done some split testing. That's what we call this, split testing. So it tells you which is your champion variant from the variants that you've done, and then it allows you going forward to set that version of your landing page or variant of your landing page as the champion and give it 100% of the traffic from now on. And that is really powerful. I get a lot from that because a lot of people at the moment are saying, oh, video, and I get that. Other people are saying text. Even I say text sometimes, especially for B2B prospecting. I really push text messaging in a HTML email. But other people are talking about video and email and all this kind of stuff which is coming. So when you've got these kinds of ideas coming through, it's good to have a platform where you can test both of them. Why MailChimp? So MailChimp, for anybody that's never done email marketing before, MailChimp have got a free tier up to 2,000 people on your database, completely free. And you know, for somebody that's never done it before, that means that they've removed the risk. Unbounce, there is a free tier, and I've shown you how to get it on my video, but it is quite difficult. You have to go through one of their paid tiers on the 14-day free trial, and then during that 14-day free trial you have to downgrade to the free tier. It allows you to have up to 200 people visit your landing page, and from those 200 people you might have some conversions, and if you do get conversions, then you'll be able to justify, or you'll know whether or not you can justify that additional expense for those accounts. But the tools I've shown you are completely free. So Unbounce is free, I've shown you how to do it, and MailChimp is free up to 2,000. Now, when I'm talking about MailChimp, I'm only talking about MailChimp for data that you collect through that landing page. It goes into MailChimp and then you send to it. I'm not talking about using MailChimp for uploading data that you may have purchased. And that's because MailChimp have some very strict terms and conditions on what you can and cannot do with your account when it comes to purchase data. Now, what do I mean by this? So if you purchase data from a company like Email Movers, you have got data there that you're using legitimate interest to process that data, and you're using direct marketing, and that's all good. However, MailChimp only want you to use data that has provided consent to you. Now, this is one of the issues that MailChimp have got, because it's very difficult for a lot of businesses to make sure that the only data that they're sending to has got consent, and whether or not that consent was right, whether it was 5 years ago that they collected it or whether it was yesterday. Consent has changed, and the definition of consent has changed. And it also means that companies that are doing B2B prospecting are going to really struggle with a platform like MailChimp. So in the next video that I do, I'm going to actually go in deeper to a couple of platforms where you can do B2B prospecting, and those platforms are completely open to it so long as you are GDPR compliant, which means that you are removing people that unsubscribe, you're being clear about who the message is coming from, you're using the data for direct marketing and nothing else, and all that kind of stuff, which I'm sure that you guys all know about. So that gives you an idea about what's coming up next week. This week, it is purely sending an email out to data that you have generated, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to show you how to create a campaign that is going to create prospect data for you, business to business prospect data. I'm going to show, or business to consumer. I'm going to show you how to create a landing page for that campaign, and I am going to show you how to set that all up so that it fires out through MailChimp. And that is in my blog post, and that is on my blog, DuncanGledhill.com. Now then, I'm going to put a link in the comments section of this video and also in the description to that blog post so you can go through. It's broken down. It's quite a long blog post, but it does break it all down into steps, and there are a couple of videos with that as well. So that's it for today. Do click, if you've never done this before, do click through and have a look. If you have done it before, have a click through and look at why I'm using these platforms, because it is quite interesting how some of the things that I touch on can really change what you're doing in email. Just to finish here, I have put in the blog post that one of the most important parts of your campaign is the idea of the campaign, the strategy, all that kind of stuff. It's not just about the tools that you're using, it's not just about the words that you're writing, it's about the actual idea. So if you take time to go in a room quietly, or go in a room with a couple of the other guys from your team and think about an idea, a strategy for your email campaign, that can help you enormously, okay? So don't forget to take time to think about what it is that your customers are looking for at the moment, prospects. What are they finding it difficult to deal with at the moment? And then when you've got an understanding of that, and it might mean that you need to pick up the phone and talk to a few of them, once you understand a little bit about what it is that they are struggling with, you'll be able to create a campaign that gives a lot of value, because obviously if they've got some pain and you've got some insights, some wisdom, some knowledge, checklists, whatever it is that you've got, assets that you can give away, then that's going to be really helpful to them. And as a result of that, they'll be more inclined to give you their details and get further information from you. So that's it for today. Please click through, have a look, leave me comments. As you know, I'm on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will be seeing you next Friday. Thank you for listening. Bye.